Hi, welcome to Wellness. I am your host, Linda Lonergan, Senior Clinical Nutritionist. In practice for 21 years in various facets of nutrition, fitness, and well-being. Today, I am joined by a lovely woman, Kathy Procario, who is a certified positive psychology life coach with Joyfilled Living. Welcome, Kathy.
Thank you for having me, Linda. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
So please tell us, what is that? What is a certified?
What is a certified positive psychology life coach? Yeah. Positive psychology is the science of happiness. So as a certified life coach, I can help others learn how to be happier and more joy-filled in their life.
Which we all need.
Absolutely. With the world that we live in right now, it's so important to protect yourself from the negativity that surrounds us on a regular basis.
Absolutely. I like to say that beyond the chaos and rhetoric, we have to see the forest through the trees, and really working with happiness as a priority and a focus is so important. So I'm excited that you shared with me about this wonderful endeavor that you're doing right now. Can you walk us through?
Sure. I am so over the top excited. I have an opportunity which just began yesterday to be mentored by one of my favorite authors, Marcy Shimoff. She wrote the book Happy for No Reason, which I have with me as one of my favorites. I have based my business, Joyfilled Living, on her book.
It's extremely exciting.
It's very exciting.
And you worked with her yesterday.
I did.
Wonderful.
I did. She was on the call with us live, and she's an amazing woman.
What are some of the things that she bases in terms of her book?
Well, one of the things is that there are a lot of myths surrounding happiness. And I like to use the word positivity because I think a lot of times people look at happiness as being too frivolous. But she talks a lot about a couple of the myths. And one is the myth of more. I'll be happy when I have more, fill in the blank. Or I'll be happy when, fill in the blank. When I have a better job, when I drive a better car, when I lose 5 pounds. You know, something so silly.
Sure.
But she also talked about a happiness set point, which I find fascinating because a happiness set point is broken into 3 realms.
Okay.
One is we're all born with a happiness set point.
Okay.
So 50% of our happiness is genetics.
Interesting.
Which is good and bad, but don't worry, don't throw in the towel yet because there's more. Because 10% is based on our circumstances. All the things, the external things, you know, what are you doing for a living, where do you live, all those kinds of things. But the best part of this news is that the last 40% is basically up for grabs. And that's kind of where I come in as the coach, because as you continue to grow and glean into being more positive, upbeat, joy-filled, happy, that 40% can be changed by our habits. So if we change the way we're looking at things, then we can make that 100% and have a fabulous life.
Which is so important. Basically, you hear that the grass is always greener. What are some very valuable tips you can share with my viewers?
One of the first things, if you ever do any kind of research on raising your happiness, is gratitude. And as Oprah says, if you can't be happy with what you have, how are you going to be happier with more?
I love that. That's
so, and there's different ways to do that, but that would be one of the first ones if you want to start your journey, is to do with gratitude.
To do with gratitude, yes.
Another tip that I have that I think is one of the things that's falling apart in our world right now is kindness. Being kind to one another, little things, holding a door open, smiling. Smiling takes nothing.
Right.
You know, you can share a smile anywhere. Right. And just treating others the way you want to be treated instead of everybody just focusing on themselves and going about their lives that way.
That's a very important thing for us to all take into consideration. I remember the first time I met you in that first meeting, that you had such a wonderful exuberance about you, and you showed joy. And anyone that came in contact with you experienced joy, and it's just who you are. So of course you would make a perfect life coach in terms of teaching about joy, because just who you are is absolutely so valuable.
You know, it's interesting when you bring that up because it's something that comes so naturally for me that I don't really focus on. It's just who, like you said, who I am. It's my whole persona. What you see is what you get.
And what's great now is you're going to take that talent and you're going to put it into effect in terms of starting these workshops and these retreats based on this whole principle of happiness for no reason.
Right.
I think that's absolutely wonderful. And you mentioned one book, but what is, you also mentioned?
Oh, I also brought another book with me. It is The Book of Joy by the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu. And reason I brought both of these books is I kind of alluded to the fact that a lot of people look at happiness as things that happen to you outside, you know, all the external things.
Right.
But what I found in The Book of Joy is that joy is an inner feeling that comes from your heart. You know, what takes your breath away? Right. And when you can really, both happiness and joy are internal things that you can really work on to make your life so much better.
And it's so valuable.
Absolutely.
But yet so simple. And you're so gifted being able to show that and to share with the viewers. In addition, you have a favorite quote that you've shared with me, which I love because it's succinct and simple, but says so much.
Yes, this is a quote about positive thinking, and it goes something like this. Your life is your garden. Your thoughts are the seeds. If your life isn't awesome, you're watering the weeds. And I'd like to help you garden and get rid of all of those weeds because life's too short to live miserable.
No, it's absolutely. We have just one life, and we have to make the most of it. You know, I like to say, carpe diem. We have to seize the day, take advantage of each and every moment,
and live each day in the moment.
Right.
You know, everything happens for us, not to us,
right.
Which is another myth that Marcy talks about in her book. That I fully believe the universe is out to support us, and it's not out to get us.
That's interesting and fascinating, and I can't wait to be part of one of these wonderful events that you share. Do you have a special means of relaxation that you personally do?
I like to get out in nature. I like to walk. When I'm really, really having a rough day, I will just go out and go for a walk. And a lot of times you'll hear that meditation is very important. And this is my way of meditating. I mean, I'm not one of those to kind of, you know, do the normal way of meditation. And when I'm out walking, I try to use all of my senses. Right. I listen, I smell, I see, just everything. Tasting is a little tricky, but sometimes, you know, it's good. But that's what I like to get out in nature and be outdoors.
It seems so simple, but yet so satisfactory. One person had shared that you look at something and say, that's the most wonderful picture of something I've seen today, and we have to make today an extraordinary day.
The great thing is when I take my phone with me, of course, and I have snapped pictures of beautiful flowers or the trees or whatever. We're coming into my favorite season of, you know, the fall when all the leaves are turning. Every day you could go outside and have a whole different plethora of colors just greeting you and lifting you up.
And I know you walk the walk and talk the talk because I've known ever since I've met you, this is who you are. And it becomes a part of what you want to portray. Is there anything special that you want to share with my viewers about what you do and how you do it and the exciting news that's coming up?
Well, after I complete my mentorship with Marcy, I will become a certified Happy for No Reason trainer. And the excitement about that is I will have another arsenal, if you will, in my toolbox to get out there and share this message that to me is just so, so important. And so keep an eye. You never know when this is going to happen. Well, we do know. It's about a 2-month training program. And once I'm through that and do a few little other behind-the-scenes steps, we're going to be ready to rock and roll. I would love to take this out and teach it on a college campus, teach it to women, teach it to men, teach it to everybody in any way, shape, or form. That's how passionate I am about positivity and joy and happiness.
I know you're going to be great, and you can sign me up as a student.
Absolutely.
I always can improve upon.
I'll even give you a good discount.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Kathy,
Linda. It's
for
been
being
wonderful.
Here. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Remember, when you select healthy food, and you become physically active and feel better, you begin to feel great. And it's something you want to continue for the rest of your life. Remember, moderation is key. Be healthy, be happy. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.